On to you, Aries. How y'all doing? So for you, Aries, you actually have the Ace of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and then you have the Hierophant. So, yeah. So for you, Aries, okay, for you, Aries. Let's see. Okay. So some of you Aries have a lot going on your plate. You have a lot going on in your life, basically. The Ace of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. This right here is a time where, again, you Aries, right? It's time to call in the cavalry, meaning that it's time for you to basically, get other people to help you out. If you Aries need any kind of help, as far as if your life has a lot of things in it, you can always ask your friends for help. Uh, if they're real, if you have real friends, but that kind of shows you, that kind of proves my point that, like, if you have people around you that are really dysfunctional, they're gonna let you down. I ain't even gonna lie, they're gonna let you down. But that's my point, right? The Ace of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Hierophant is about how so like it is, I said before, right? Go to people who know what you who know what you who know what they're doing, that actually has skills that can really help you out. Because obviously sometimes you Aries can get swamped with work, right? Swarmed. Just whatever you Aries got going on. I've talked about this a couple of times before. Sometimes things can be a little bit overwhelming for one person. And so this is a time in which you Aries want to make sure that you bring in other people that you know that you can trust, who is good at what it is that they do, to help you out. So if things were are a little bit difficult or frustrating, because you Aries have a lot of things happening for you right now, where it seems like things are happening all at once. And I'm not making it sound, I hope I'm not making it sound like it's just the worst thing in the world. I really mean it in the sense that you Aries are actually making very good progress in your lives. It's just a matter of, you know, you just employ people sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, you don't always have to keep people on your payroll. Sometimes, like a website like Fiverr. I've talked about it before, not much, but how it is that I went on Fiverr. I got my whole YouTube profile picture off of, paying for it on Fiverr. All of that stuff is tax efficient too. That's a tax write-off if you do it correctly. That's a tax write-off and everything, because yeah, you're employing people, but you're also employing people short term. But that's still considered a tax write-off. You understand what I'm saying? So why that's important in the first place is because if you Aries have got anything going on, ask your friends, ask the people that's closest to you to help you out. And the situation with that is the Nine of Swords and the Six of Swords. Never mind about them not understanding, or them not them not like understanding what it is that you Aries got going on. You know, it could even be someone that may not even really be a friend, but a someone that, like, you are just now getting to know. Okay, it could be someone completely brand new, right? And you just still put them up to it, because this, if they want to be in your life, this could be them showing you what it would be like to be in a relationship with you, as well as you with them, right? You can see it. What would they do if they are given the opportunity, right? Can they even handle the position? Not necessarily the job per se, but more so the position in you Aries' life. Can you Aries count on them, right? Can you trust them? Can you trust their ability or their strength to actually be rock solid, you know, with you, for you. And the Nine of Swords and the Six of Swords represents how if they can't be, then you have your answer, right? You don't keep them around in your life, you know, or you ask other people, you know, for their help who are more qualified, right? You know, I don't go to a person that went who on Fiverr. I don't go to psychic readers on Fiverr to talk about I want you to make a YouTube channel banner and a YouTube channel profile. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's not what it is that they say that they can do. That's not something that, it's not their profession. It's not something that they profess that, look, I could do this. You know what I mean? It's something in, you know, not saying that they couldn't do that, but it's not what it is that they forte in. That's not one of their skills or their talents, or at least they don't promote that. And so that's my point with you, Aries. Like for you right now, you want to make sure that if you have a lot going on, you want to make sure that everybody with you is rock solid. You know, people actually are down for whatever it is, as long as it's not stupid, of course, right? You know, you don't want to put people in jeopardy, but as long as you've got something going on, you Aries want to make sure that the people around you are rock solid and that they actually are willing to, you know, to help you out with whatever it is that you need. I'm not saying that they'll always 100% of the time be available each and every single time. But you want to make sure that they are a true friend. They are a true ally. They are true with their intentions. They're not hanging around you and looking at you, Aries, like, oh, okay, even though they're hanging around you, they still dislike you and everything like that. You don't want that. And so the situation with that is Page of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. Some people in you Aries' life may have let you down as of recently, but you should be glad about that. Now, some people, for some of you Aries, may have actually surprised you in a very good way, because they actually came through. They either came through by either doing a good job with whatever it is that you may have needed help with. They may have offered to help, or maybe you may have asked them to do something, and they may have told you straight up that, hey, I'm not necessarily going to be good at this. And so you Aries are surprised at how transparent they are, and how for some of them how skilled they can be, because at least they're transparent with you. Because what I'm seeing here is, again, you ask these people for a simple thing, which is what friends are supposed to do. Like, friends do not have a problem with other friends asking them for stuff sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the friendship, basically, right? You're not counting, but at the same time, that is part of the friendship, right? You don't always do it, but obviously, and that's my point. Like, a person who gets upset with the person and they always asking, or they get upset with them asking for anything and it hasn't been a long time and they start going and stuff like this, that's not someone that you really want to take seriously as a friend. Now, why is this so important? It's important because you, Page of Wands, you need to see that for yourself. Now, why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because, again, Aries, like, your friends also help make you or break you as well. And that, you know, you don't want to get too close to people who don't actually want you to win. You know, you don't want to get too close to people who don't want you to win. You know what I'm saying? I want you Aries to win. You know, I know some Aries off camera. You know what I mean? I clap for them when they win. They don't see it, but I tried to. But anyway, I clap for them when they win. You know, tell them, I tell them all the time, good job, they doing their thing, and when I'm around them, I don't talk about myself too much. I talk about what it is, for the most part at least. I talk about what it is that they got going on, I talk about how, and they're Aries, and I talk about how it is that, proud of them, proud at what it is that they doing, what they are doing, regardless of the who or the what, regardless of the who or the what, proud of them, no, you know what I mean? No matter what happens, got love for them, uh, uh, and want to see them win regardless, and see, again, what kind of, this is the time to see what kind of friends you have, because you Aries are on the upswing. You Aries are doing some great things for yourself, regardless of if you're the business owner, person that works on a 9-to-5 job. It really doesn't matter. A lot of you Aries may even work at a 9-to-5 job, but it doesn't matter because you got some money saved up. So it doesn't matter. You still are in a powerful position, regardless of whatever of the many positions. And so because of it, a lot of you Aries, you really want to make sure that the quality of the people that you have around you is top notch. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that the people around you can learn different things. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to have all of your friends and allies that are only ponies that can do one thing, right? One trick ponies and all of that. And so the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the King of Wands for you Aries, right? Excuse me. It speaks to how it is that a lot of you Aries are, so keeping your cards close to your chest, because you didn't ask this person to do a whole lot of a complicated task at all. You wanted something simple. And for some of them, they couldn't even do that. So this is my point about why you got to be aware of things like this. Because if you are not, right, you'll have people slip by you in your life that are terrible individuals that end up just getting whatever in gifts and cash or prizes, maybe even your body, right? Maybe some of them may tell you, oh, they care about you, love you, all that good stuff. But then at the same time, and all of that, right, they still in a position where, they want to see you fall and all of that. Nah, that's not good. And so the Ten of Pentacles and the King of Wands right here represents, you want to make sure that this person is in the King of Wands the correct way, meaning that they want to ride for you for no matter what. They want to make sure that, they got your back. What it is that you got going on, they got you, So, I would donate money to my Aries friends. You know what I'm saying? They may not know that, but, a lot of them have a good amount of it. So I don't you feel, I'm the one that you feel me? But if they ever found themselves in a messed up disposition, though, I would. You know what I mean? Maybe I may send it to them anyway. But anyway, that's a surprise. That's neither here nor there. So let's clarify some of these cards. So let's clarify the King of Wands. Just making sure. The Seven of Michael, Seven of Gabriel, Page of Gabriel, Six of Ariel, and then you have the Strength card to clarify the King of Wands, right? So the King of Wands is others, making sure that others got your back. And if they don't, you got to get rid of them. You got to excommunicate them, is what it means, basically. The Seven of Michael, Seven of Gabriel, Page of Gabriel, right. Same thing that it is that I was talking about. If they don't have your back, want you to win. Maybe they may not be able to do anything as far as a skill wise, but they can still want you to win. You understand what I'm saying? And that means so much. So then the 6 of Ariel and the Strength card, then it means that they're not doing their part. And it means that you got to stay away from them. So this is a reading about a cautionary tale about how some of you Aries may have some people around you that you may have found out recently that are not good at a whole lot. They're not even good at being useful because it was more than that. It was more about their value as a human being, right? Them, you asking them for something small. It ain't going to take too much out of them, if anything. And they couldn't even do that because I'm not going to let you use me. And it's like, this is how it is that you know that they getting carried away and they taking this thing a little bit too seriously because they get so caught up with not trying to have game ran on them to the point of them being useless, right? Because now it's, okay, yeah, we understand that they're not trying to have game ran on them, but at the same time, it's a matter of, well, you still, they still need to provide value. They still need to bring value to the table somehow, because if they don't, then that means that they're going into useless territory. They're in useless category. So, because that's what a parasitic organism does. Parasitic organism or a parasite doesn't bring a whole lot of value. They try to bring it, but it's you got to think hard about what the value that they offer back, and the value that they offer back is just parasitizing off of others, just leeching off of others. So, you know what I mean? So a lot of you Aries, you figured this out recently, and you Aries is like, yo, it's a lot of, like what Biggie said, more money, more problems, because you Aries found out some of the problems that Biggie was talking about, right? Or was referring to, about how, like, when you have cash, you'll have people who will be useless, who, sometimes you may ask them for something small. And Mike Tyson talked about this too. They think that because you have this money, the narrative is, oh, you have this money, so it means that you in heaven now. Now you have no worries. And it's like, what makes you, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with you Aries. Like, just because things are going well with you Aries doesn't mean that you Aries don't have problems. Of course you do. Everyone has problems. So, now all of a sudden they don't want to see you as a living being anymore, because now they just see you as cash. And you see how the objectification works. When you broke, or maybe you're poor, right, which is worse than broke, they see you as, oh, you don't have enough value. But then when you get rich, they only see you as Mr. or Mrs. Moneybucks. See how that works? Cold game. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Peace. Oh yeah, come through, get a personal reading from me. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. Smash the subscribe button. Watch the video. The first zodiac sign to reach, I don't know, 1,500 views gets the first video. If not, just do it regularly.